John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. I've got another really good broadhead to test here today. It's a new one by Crimson Talon. Now this isn't the Crimson Talon that you may have known from many years ago. A few years ago, another guy, Bevel, purchased the company and has been doing some new stuff. He still has some of the old stuff that he continues to sell from Crimson Talon, but he's been making some improvements on those and then coming up with some really cool new things. And his passion is to produce really high-level broadheads at a really low-level, blue-collar, everyman budget kind of a price, which I super appreciate. And he's so creative, so passionate, so smart and industrious that he's doing a really good job at it. You may have seen my test of the cleaver that he did last year. That's worth a look if you haven't checked that out already. Well, now he's come out with a whole new lineup, and they're called the Croc, okay, C-R-O-C, okay, the Croc. And here's one of them right here. They're just a simple single bevel, 2-blade broadhead with a whopping 1.5 inch cut, okay? So this is the 125 grain. He also makes 150 grain and then a 200 grain. And so today I'm gonna be testing the 125 grain model. Pretty cool looking right here. Eager to test it out and see how it performs. I'm going to be using my protocol for 2023. For a description of that, you can read about it right below this video, or I made a video explaining the process that I use. It's just called 2023 Broadhead Test Process. So you can check that out here on my channel. I'm going to be using my Bowtech CB28, set at 72 pounds, using Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shooting, and then the Bishop Fad Eliminators for the really hard impact stuff. Let's zoom on in here and check out some of these design features and specifications of this Croc 125 grain and then put it to the test. Here's a good look at the 125 grain Croc. This is a really nice looking broadhead. Like the other Crocs, so you may have seen the other video of the 200 or the 150. This is the 125, but it's got the same dimensions of a 1.5 inch cutting diameter this way. Nice wide cut, man, it's really impressive. And in terms of the length of this one, it's just a little over an inch of length. So I love that overall short profile. That's to give it, to minimize the profile, to give it more flight forgiveness, as well as ability to penetrate and generate torque and rotation. As for the materials, in the 125 grain model, they use a 70-75 aluminum for the ferrule. In their 150 and 100 and 200 grain, they use a steel. But you know, 70-75, like I always say, if you're going to use an aluminum, that's a good one because it's stronger than some steels. And looking to see how stout it is, I'm thinking the ferrule's not going to be an issue there with the aluminum. It's just to save weight. The blades are a CR12 MOV tool steel brought to a Rockwell hardness of 58. So nice that they use a tool steel which has a good impact resistance. That's going to prevent edge chatter. And then that's a nice hardness to it too, 58. Now in this 125 grain model, the blades are 0.059 inches thick. When you go up to 150, they're 0.071 inches thick, up to 200, 0.079 inches thick, which I really like that. When a broadhead increases weight by adding thickness to the blades, it's functional weight. It's not just adding a weighted washer, but you're getting value for it. So I really like how they've taken the time to do that. But in 125, it's still really thick, 0.059 inches thick. And the bevel angle here is 32 degrees on all sides here, single bevel sharpened. So the Stay Sharp Guide 32 degree bevel sharpener would just work perfectly with this broadhead. So really eager to put this head to the test and see how it performs. It took 175 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated 8 inches. It took an additional 25 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 9.5 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 66 layers. It rotated 35 degrees at 13 inches. It's in perfect condition after the 3 shots through the MDF. And after 2 shots through the steel plate, it's still in perfect condition. I mean, these edges are just in great shape, no edge chatter at all, and really nice holes in the steel plate. You get that great single bevel rotation and thick blades, and a wide cut makes a wound channel that'll be difficult to close up. Here's the head after all the durability tests. It's gone through the MDF 3 times, the steel plate 2 times, and then into the concrete. And man, it is in excellent shape. Spins great. The edges are perfectly intact. Really, there's no edge chatter. Very impressive durability. So what'd you think of the Croc 125 grain? Man, let me tell you, this head is outperforming heads that cost like 2, 3, 4 times as much. Really, really impressive. I was pleasantly surprised. I was going to say shocked, but Dave does such good stuff. I can't say I was shocked, but pleasantly surprised by the way this thing performed, especially impacting steel, no edge chatter, concrete, flight, penetration, kind of every area. It just performed extremely well. And at this price, I don't know how he does it. Okay, it's amazing. And then he also passes on a discount code that you can use. He asked me if I want a discount code. I kind of felt bad asking for it because he's like so bottom of the barrel in terms of the pricing. But he just wants these to be accessible to everybody. So if you use my discount code LUSK15, you get an additional 15% off the already low price. So a head like this, they come out to being like $8.50 a head. Whereas, I'm not kidding, they're outperforming heads that cost like $30, $40 a head. So really, really impressive. Dave, Crimson Talon, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Kudos. I look forward to testing more of your stuff in the future. Keep it coming. I saw this hog bedded from a ways away, and because it'd been raining really hard, I was able to stalk up super close. Wow, that was pretty amazing. The Croc really put him down fast. It went right through. You can see the entrance hole here and then the exit hole on the other side. And it would have just zipped right through, but the ground behind it prevented that from happening. And here's the head afterwards, still in great shape.